Oh, this is perfect for the brisket trolls. If you're trolling this post and you want to talk shit about brisket or how dry it is or whatever the case may be, please leave a comment. I'd love to interact with you. 25-pound Wagyu brisket that I smoked for 15 hours on my Traeger, rested for about 2 hours. And yes, I love squeezing my meat. It pisses people off for whatever reason, but I clearly like to squeeze and play with it. Look at that. Come on. Boom. Look at the bark on that bad boy. Follow me on Instagram at Kendrick_BBQ for the 16-minute prep video on this bad boy. Okay, I'm going to be stuffing these purple bell peppers. Never even seen a purple bell pepper before, but most of this content will be over on my Instagram page at Kendrick_BBQ. But a quick tip on these, or any bell pepper, is they can be uneven at the bottom. You go to stand them straight up and they're stuffed, they tend to fall over, or you put them in a baking dish to have them lean on each other. But a quick tip to even them out is to cut that unevenness off the bottom. You might end up with a couple holes in the bottom, but you're stuffing it with usually ground beef or something. It's not going to leak out, but it just allows for a better presentation at the end. And if you're cooking them individually, they will stand straight up.
Our ranch, hot dogs, oh yeah, all beef on beef, baby. Oh dude, that's funny.
All right, I'm about to prep this 25-pound brisket, Wagyu. I've never even done one over 20 pounds, but let alone see one that's 25 pounds. It is massive. The full process is gonna be on my Instagram page, Kendrick_BBQ. I try and push you guys over there because there's recipes, there's full real-time videos. I mean, it's got so much information there that's limited to TikTok. As far as TikTok goes, I could give a shit whether it disappears or not. I put some content out here for you guys to see, which I appreciate the support and the following, but all the other information is on my Instagram page, and I'll give you a little peek at this 25-pound brisket that I'm about to get into. Look at this thing. The point is massive. Anybody wants to question that that's Wagyu, you got something wrong. 25-pounder, we're gonna trim it. And like I said, full process on my Instagram page. My previous post was prepping this picanha, cleaning all the silver skin off it. And I mentioned how I like to cut it up into steaks. So I'll usually find the grain of the meat and then I'll cut against it. And as you see here, I'm just cutting they're about 2 inches thick steaks. You can cook this whole, no problem, but this is my preference. I'll smoke them, I'll sear them, and serve them as steak bites, basically. So it's delicious. For way more content and cooking, follow me on Instagram at Kendrick_BBQ. Okay, it's michelada time. This time I wanted to grill up some shrimp to go with it. So I love me tahine seasoning, but I was in the grocery store and saw that they have a new sauce out. The tahine sauce. So basically seasoned it up with the tahine seasoning, grilled them for about 15 minutes, and then went ahead and added the sauce to it, grilled them up for another 5 minutes, and these were going to top my michelada nicely. So as you can see, I put the sauce on the rim, more tahine seasoning, the Traeger smoked Bloody Mary mix with the Modelo, added the shrimp, and then pinky popping, boom. I'm just gonna take this skin. Ooh. Peel it down. Oh my God. The moisture. Ooh, yeah. That's what you want. Unreal. You can see the... Y'all follow me on Instagram if you have it, for recipes, real-time videos, you know, full start to finish cooks. But here's an old one, stuffing a meatloaf. That's 5 pounds of ground beef, and that's about 1.5 pounds of cheese, still in its block. I literally jammed it down the center of that meatloaf, formed that meat all the way around, and seasoned it. Sometimes I'll put bacon, wrap the entire outside with bacon, or sometimes I'll just dry rub it. But when it's all said and done, it's just meaty, cheesy goodness. Make sure you rest it before it'll ooze everywhere.
What is that? I love it. This is part of the challenge. What is
I look like that without the shirt. That's moving on. Okay, with some juice on there? Yes, sir. Cherry on the top. So I'm talking about, right? It'll work.
Alright, so this is me playing with my food as usual. I guess I just never grew up. I got a 1.5 pound lobster I had overnighted from Maine. I figured it has to get paired with one of these ribeye caps that I have from Snake River Farms. It's a gold grade Wagyu. So 1.5 pound lobster being used as a cutting board for my steak. Like, who does that? I guess somebody that plays with this food. So you can see the cook on that ribeye fillet was just good freaking Lord. Prepping some chicken wings. So we got the wing tip, we got the flat, and the drum. I like to cook them whole like they are for presentation purposes, but then I like to break them down. I get rid of the wing tip, and I know some people like to eat those, but I personally don't find any meat or anything on them, so to each their own. But I know there's people that prefer flats, people that prefer drums. So being that it's National Chicken Wing Day, figured I'd break a bunch of these down and stack a bunch of them up and grab a cold beer. So I don't usually reply to messages. Actually, this is the first time on TikTok. I've been on social media for almost 5 years. I've seen it all, heard it all, whatever. If you don't get thick skin on social media, you will never make it. It took me a little bit of time, but this guy said something about my mom, who's been dead for almost 20 years. For over 20 years. I replied back to him, and this was his response to my response. So basically, kill him with kindness, whether it's a keyboard warrior, just somebody stopping in to talk shit, whatever they want to do, kill him with kindness. This is what the result can be. You don't got to get into a pissing match. So cheers to you, bro. No hard feelings. It's all good. Yeah. Kill them with kindness. That's the key. Tasty street corn in the cast iron. This is awesome. So if TikTok happens to get taken down for God knows how many times now, you guys can find me on Instagram where I am daily cooking. Kendrick_BBQ. The link is in my bio here. You can also find me on YouTube. But here, street corn, 450 degrees. Sweat down some red onions and some olive oil for about 10 minutes, and then I'll add the corn and some cilantro, and that'll go 450 degrees for about an hour. Here I'm adding the cotija cheese after about an hour to kind of get it all to get nice and gooey in there, and then I'll top it with the queso fresco cheese. The seasoning is the hardcore carnivore michelada. It is killer. I'll add some chives at the end, so I'll either eat it hot like this or add some mayo at the end, and just have a killer street corn. When I do my meatloafs, I love to cram cheese down the center of it. But one thing that I've learned is to rest my meat, rest my food, especially if it's filled with cheese. So if you don't rest it and it's got a bunch of cheese in it, it's going to come oozing out, and there you go. Let that cheese set up a little bit more so it's in each slice and you won't have it oozing out like this. Okay, we got some beef ribs that I had to revive. These were in the fridge for 2 days. You can see I got them nice and tender again. You can almost like push my finger through those. So let's get this bad boy off. Oh, it's got massive moisture. Oh man, here we go. Not bad. All right, I did this 20-pound Wagyu brisket over the weekend. I actually cooked it, removed the point, and made some bacon-wrapped brisket burn-ins. That video, you'll be able to see on my YouTube, and lots of the content that I have from any of my cooks is mainly on my Instagram page at Kendrick_BBQ. But here, I'm doing the brisket flat from that 20-pound Wagyu brisket, refrying it up on my Traeger Ranger that has a cast iron insert. I took the juice from the pan that this brisket was wrapped in. So when you wrap it, it sweats out. You get the natural juice from the beef. So I poured it over the top, as you can see here. Just added that much more flavor to these tacos. I even fried up some al pastor to have a little duo going on here. So some killer street tacos. Okay, I'm hooked on smoking alcohol on my Traeger. So last week was a Mai Tai. This week it's a Pina Colada. Taking this Juliana rum, dark and white, smoking it at 165 degrees on the Traeger with some pineapple to make this Pina Colada. So you can see here, takes about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I'll pull it off, get it in a blender, grilled some pineapple. So for more full recipes, tutorials, anything barbecue, from baking cakes to smoking briskets, follow me on Instagram at Kendrick_BBQ. The link is in my profile.